The American assassination of Iranian General Soleimani spawned countless memes about mandatory drafts. And after the Iranians' AFAGIR retaliated by attacking American soldiers in 2 Iraqi sites, it seemed that war was inevitable. Fortunately, it seems like we're not actually headed towards war. Both the American and Iranian government have expressed reluctance towards pursuing future conflict, and other nations have been advising the two to keep a level head. But all the memes aside, even if total war were declared between the United States and Iran, it's unlikely that my American viewers would actually be forced into drafting. The Selective Service System is the American agency that keeps track of the citizens eligible for the draft. The website has been crashing a crap ton the past couple of days, so I won't be including any screenshots from them. But the eligibility requirements are 1. To be a U.S. citizen, 2. To be of the male gender, and 3. To be aged between 18 and 25. Legally, the American male must register with the SSS within 30 days of their 18th birthday. But here's the thing though. There's no penalty for failing to register. On paper, failing to register for conscription puts you at risk of 5 years in prison and or a fine of up to $250,000. On paper. Because in reality, no one's been prosecuted for failing to register since 1986. This is in part because the United States Armed Forces prides itself on being voluntary, and mandatory conscription is, well, involuntary. But also because the mandatory historical drafts have been counterproductive for the government. During World War I, many young men were shamed into enlisting via propaganda posters and white feathers publicly given to civilians not wearing uniforms, marking them as cowards. The white feather campaign ended up being counterproductive. A lot of individuals were working in either private jobs essential to the war effort or in public positions. The United States government faced similar problems during the Vietnam War. If the SSS were to conduct a draft, it will be done so through a lottery system. The different ages are given different priorities. The SSS will conscript 20-year-olds first, then 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 19, and finally 18-year-olds. In other words, an 18-year-old has a lower chance of being drafted than a 20-year-old. There's a slightly different procedure done for people with special skills. This is usually Americans knowledgeable in STEM, healthcare, and foreign languages. Individuals with special skills have a different conscription process because they are a lot more useful utilizing those skills than fighting on the front lines. For instance, a talented programmer can write a virus to attack foreign infrastructures, or an engineer can design better vehicles to transport troops. I'll leave the viewers with this. If a war were to break out, you probably wouldn't need to worry about being drafted, especially if you're on the younger side. If you're patriotic and want to help out with the war effort, there are more ways to do so than just enlisting. Arming yourself with the knowledge of STEM will enable you to do far more for the military. This meme I'm throwing up right now is definitely anti-military industrial complex, but its point still stands. Private corporations like Boeing, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, and General Dynamics create the weapons and defensive technologies our armed forces rely on. And working for a defense contractor is an alternate way to support the military effort.